Hello, Ken Spriggs here with an unboxing video and a review of a new kit that I just got today. The Razor Crest from the Mandalorian from Revell of Germany. It's an imported kit, and been waiting a long time for a nice Mandalorian Razor Crest model. The only other one that's been out other than 3D printed ones has been the really tiny Bandai, which I didn't even really get because it's just a few inches. It's just not even worth the trouble. This one is 1/72 scale, and I had originally not been looking into this one and thinking about buying it until just recently. I was looking into possibly getting the round 2 version, which they are supposed to be releasing sometime this year. Now I have looked into some of the specs of the round 2 one. It does have a cockpit, but it does not have any type of storage interior for the lower level, which you would see very much under the back ramp, the 2 side doors. So that kind of concerned me because that would be a lot of scratch building to try to come up with something. So about a week or so ago, I saw a YouTube video about somebody reviewing this kit, and this kit has a full interior, which is quite awesome, and nicely detailed storage area with the walls, the floor, the ceiling, some extra little things that they put into it. So certainly you can see all of that through the back ramp, which is able to be opened, the 2 side ramps, that kind of thing. So I was very excited to get it, and then a short time later I saw it posted and available, and I jumped on it. I got mine from Cult TV Man. Now, I had talked to Steve from there. He doesn't really want to promote it because he only had a limited supply. And he said so from the start. And they sold out pretty much the same day. So some people, I guess, were unhappy that they didn't get it. But he did tell people that. He didn't really advertise it a lot. It was out there and available, but for a brief time. It is still available in many other venues. If you want to go and look around, there are other places that you can get it. So really excellent kit. I've heard mostly good things about it. There have been a few negative things that some people have talked about. Very little, actually. And I'll kind of talk about that when I show it. So let's go ahead and take a look. All right, so I'm doing an unboxing and just a reveal of the new Mandalorian Razor Crest from Revell, which I just got in today. Very cool kit. Here's some side shots of it. This is from Germany. So you got German is the main language on it, and then it has English as well. That's about the same. I don't think those are any different. Turn it over in the back. All right, so the back goes over some more info. Gives you a shot of it. Okay, so let me go ahead and open this up and show you the parts of this awesome kit. All right, so here is the top and the bottom of the ship itself, the main body of it. Very well designed. I'm really happy with how they made this. The bottom is made as like a tub. So you have obviously the front part, the sides, the hatches, everything's all one piece. So no issues with seams. Like if they cut it down here or something to make it smaller, it would be more difficult to put it together. Well, I mean, you can put it together, but then it would be harder to fill in the seams. The top goes right on top, and the way that it's designed, is that there's a natural seam right down here, and all around really. There's no reason to fill it in. When you glue that into place, it's gonna just match in as a natural seam. Same with under here. Back over here. It even fills in right here to the back where the get in there. Where you have this part here. So very well designed, very nicely made, so that at least on the body part there are no seams down the center, giving you a problem. I haven't tested the wings yet, but I'm assuming that they're going to go on there pretty easily the same way and have another natural seam, as you can see right along here. So it'll blend in, and you won't have to worry about doing any filling for that. It's got some really nicely deep panel lines, as you can see, and a lot of good detail. Looks to be pretty accurate. Here's the front of it. Very nice, very nicely done. Okay. Now, one of the complaints I've heard about this kit, and I've seen in a few videos, actually the only thing I've heard in some videos, the videos I've seen about this, a couple that I've done, some reviews, they were positive. They mentioned that some people have complained about certain aspects, but they themselves didn't think it was a problem, and I agree with them. So one of the complaints was that there's supposed to be some kind of texture or something on the smooth parts. I mean, you have to really get in there right up on it. I've been having a hard time even getting that to happen. But it's not rough in any way. It doesn't have any kind of pebbled texture or any kind of bad texture at all. And certainly for my purposes, I'm going to be using alclads. So I'm going to go over it with a gloss black and then with the alclad. So even if there was, it's almost like a matte finish in a way. It's not like your standard model that's all shiny plastic. I guess you can compare it to like this section right here, which is just bare. A part goes on that obviously, to the one right next to it, which seems to be a little more of a matte finish, which I think makes it look more natural actually. I don't know why people don't seem to like that, or some people anyway. So, okay, so that's the main body. Quite beautiful. The whole thing is measuring out to close to 13 inches when it's done. I think with the guns, it'll extend it. Well, I'm not sure if they go beyond the front of it, but it's about 13 inches. Very nice size. Very nice scale for this kit. So, okay, let me go ahead and look at the other parts and the other sprues on this. All right, so I had seen some videos about this kit just prior to ordering it, because I really didn't know much about it, and I wasn't really looking to get the Revell version. I know that Round 2's making one, and that's more of the one I was kind of thinking of, but the differences that came up with me is that the Round 2, although it has a cockpit, it has no detail in the cargo area, which when you have two open doors on both sides and you have the back tailgate and you just have a blank kit like this, if this had no interior, that would be kind of crappy. And these all open up obviously, and I'm assuming they're going to open up on the Round 2 version. So this kit does include a full interior and an interior in the lower part as well, which is pretty awesome. So this part of the sprue had the top of it on, so it just has some other panels and mainly the guns that go on it. Pretty standard stuff, kind of cool looking guns. I believe. So the guns have a slit in the front, but no actually open hole. But that's fine. But the main part that I like the best is the interior. So here's the interior. So you've got these really nicely detailed interior walls. Some cool looking machinery. I'll have to look. I would assume it's accurate. I'm not certain. I'm not absolutely certain, so I don't want to say that. But it's pretty cool. Here's obviously the side doors. Got a ladder here. This is the, I believe the ceiling, yes. This is the ceiling, or the part, well, the ceiling or part of it is the floor for the cockpit, because the cockpit's above it. So lots of detail there, and there's some extra parts that go onto it. And then you have the floor, which you can kind of make out has a nice little grid pattern in it. In this little area. I'm pretty sure that's where little Grogu goes. I'm not absolutely certain, but that's pretty cool. All right. And then there's a separate ladder, which I'm not sure where that goes in relation to this ladder. But there's a ladder there as well. So very impressed with that. I think that's really awesome. I think that's going to make the kit. And I can do a lot with scratch building extra things in crates and other things that he has oftentimes down in that cargo area, and really kind of bring that out. So I'm really happy with this part. I'm really glad they made this interior. This is really going to make the kit, I think. So let me take a look at the next sprue. All right, so this sprue, as you can see, mostly has the engines, the big engines, nicely sized, nicely detailed. It also has the cockpit parts. It looks like a doorway here. There's the Mandalorian and his arms. He's the only figure that's in this. There's a seat. There's one of the back hatchways, another hatchway to that. These things, I believe, are hanging down from the ceiling in the cargo area. 2 more seats for the cockpit. You have some other parts here. Not quite sure what all those are. I think this is like a part of the floor for the cockpit. And this is a control. It's very, very cool. I like those a lot. And since they'll be visible through the windows, I could easily do some little holes with some fiber optic, a pin vise, and light up some controls to give that some character. So that's really cool. So I really like that a lot. And then one of the things I had heard from another video, I'll have to take a look, is that although there's not a big seam on the main body of the ship, which is great, there is a seam, at least one seam on the engine halves that go together that you have to fix up. So I'll have to see when I get those together, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem. All right, let's look at the next one. All right, so this is other parts of like the engines. Here's, I guess that's the part that goes in the bottom for the little wing part that goes onto the engine. You have, of course, the housings here. This is like the intake in the front, which is cool. These are the engines coming out of the back, and then you have the little nozzle sections all one piece here. It's pretty cool. Now, one of the only other complaints that I have, and other people have mentioned it, is that these engines are solid plastic. They're not open in any way. Would have been nice if they opened up these little slots right here where the light comes through. Maybe the center, I'm not quite sure. I'll have to look at it. But I have seen somebody go ahead and just cut those out, drill them out, and then just use a pin or like a file, a needle file, to get in there and clean those up. And that's what I'll probably do. I'm definitely going to be lighting this up. But other than that, yeah, you see they're just solid plastic. I know other people have done maybe like recasting them in something clear, but I probably won't go to that extent. So, all right, so very cool. Let me go ahead and show you the remainder of the sprues. All right, so these are the last 2 sprues. And one thing I want to show you, I can show you with this clear plastic one, is that they don't have them sealed. They have them folded over, and they have a piece of tape on them. Very nice. So I can take it out of the plastic, because I wouldn't normally want to open up the clear and you know, get that possibly scratched or damaged. But you can put it back into the plastic and protect it, so you don't have to worry about it. So here's the base, which I'm not really going to be worrying about since I'm going to be putting it on a diorama. The landing gear, which is really cool. Lots of nice detail in that. Here's some of the foot pads. And they, of course, have detail on the back, on the bottom. Very cool. And I'm assuming the various panels that you would have opened up to look like the landing gear doors once they're opened. So, all right. And you can, the landing gear, as far as I can tell, is not movable, but you can put them in the landed position or take them out and display it without it. So you can probably just remove panels and click them into place. Then you have the clear, which is really cool, really nice. It's nice and thin, so not overly thick clear parts that would distort the images inside. So I think those are going to be really nice. Like this one right here, very cool, very nicely done. So, yeah, definitely awesome. Beautiful kit. All right, so the last thing I'll show you is going to be the decals and the instructions. All right, so here's the instruction sheet, and then the decal set. Decals are very nice, mostly for the orange kind of things there, but there's other things like this one here. I believe these go on the inside. You've got some controls. Go in the cockpit. Some other things like that, but really nice. Not a whole lot of different painting or details on the outside of the ship, other than it being like a polished aluminum with the orange sections here, and then some weathering and that kind of thing. So pretty cool. I am going to wait and see. Lou Dalmasso, Aztec Dummy, has this kit, and he's going to be building it here shortly. I'm hoping that he makes a masking set. So if he makes a mask set to paint on those panels, I always think that's a better way to go. So I'll probably look into that and see about getting that as well. All right, so a lot of info about the different parts that come in. Then you have the actual instructions. I won't go over them in detail, but they're kind of color-coded. So they actually show you the colors that you're painting, and they put a little flag pointing to it with a letter, which would then correspond to a key. Where's that key at? Well, I know they have it like here. Well, I'm not going to worry about it, but I'm sure that they correspond somewhere in this description to those colors. I'll show you how that goes together. Full interior. There's where a lot of those decals go inside of the, even says decal 1. Pretty cool for the interior. Very nice. Okay. All right. So pretty straightforward. Yeah, and you can see it has flying, what you would do for the landing gear if you have it closed, and it has, where is it at? Maybe on the next page. Yeah, landed. So it's possible that you could keep parts unglued, like the land. Looks like the landing pad just goes on there if it's not in a landed mode. So we'll see. That's pretty cool. Yeah. So that's nice that they mark those as landed versus flying, so you show the different options of how you can display the kit. And it shows you some overall colors, decals, the outside. Obviously the back ramp comes down, so you can see inside there. See that nice detail. Very cool. Very cool indeed. So really good kit. Really happy with this. Really well done. I highly recommend it. And I'll be very excited to be building it here somewhere down the road. All right, so fantastic kit. I'm really happy with this kit. I love the size of it. I love the full interior, which I can do a whole lot with and really augment with other materials, maybe some 3D printed crates or barrels, or somebody suggested some of his bounty in carbonite frozen, which would be pretty cool. And maybe a little Grogu figure. I'm sure I'll be able to get something like that. But very happy with it, and very excited to build it at some point here. Now, I don't have plans to start that just right away. I have other projects that are going on, obviously, right now. And but I will be getting to that somewhere down the road here and building it up. And I do want to look to see if Aztec Dummy releases a mask set, which I'd also want to get on that one. So, okay. So very fantastic kit. If you're interested in this ship, I highly recommend the Revell version. I would go out and get it while you can. And I don't think you'll be disappointed at all. All right. Well, thank you again to my new subscribers, and I will see you in the next video.